Hello everyone, this is Jan from orJANics 50 and Raw, and I've tried to make this video 3 times, I'm not kidding, and every time my phone rings, so take 3. I wanted to make a video for you guys about what to do so that you don't have to get a cold or the flu this season. And even if you've gotten the flu vaccine, you know, I am sorry to tell you, you're not really protected against getting the flu. But something that, you know, you guys, I'm not afraid to hug somebody with a cold, to drink out of their cup. I don't have to avoid anybody who has a cold or a flu. I will not get it. I know I won't get it. And do you know why I know? Because my vitamin D3 level in my blood is very high. Not too high, but the perfect number that my immune system is very strong. I take about 10,000 units a day. My daughter, she's 21, she takes 10,000 units a day. My son takes 10,000, sometimes 15,000 right now because it is flu season, so we're diligently making sure that we all are taking our vitamin D every day. And my 10-year-old takes 5,000 units a day. And the recommended daily allowance by the FDA is 600 units a day. Look at all the studies. You guys do your research. They've done research, tons of research showing how maintaining a healthy vitamin D3 level fights cancer, promotes a healthy heart. It can keep you from getting the flu or the cold, or, you know, when your immune system's strong, you don't have to worry about those things. But yes, yesterday, one of my clients came in the studio, and she had said that she was in a place where, I guess, I don't know, she had jury duty or something, and the man that was sitting beside her for hours was coughing and blowing his nose and sniffling, and she was like, oh no. And sure enough, a few days later, she came down with it. And she's a healthy person. I consider her to be somebody who tries really hard to take care of herself. And I told her, same thing I just told you, I don't worry about getting sick at all anymore, because I won't. I don't get a cold. And about 6 years ago, I started taking, for the first time, got my vitamin D3, not total vitamin D, but vitamin D3 levels checked, and I was like in a 21, and my OBGYN at that time, who's very open to naturalness, okay, put me on vitamin D3. I started taking it, and since then, I did some research and found out that taking vitamin D3 can be more effective at preventing the flu than the flu vaccine. So skip the flu vaccine and load up on your vitamin D, you guys. I've made more videos on the importance of taking your vitamin D3 than any other video, because I so much believe it. Even raw vegans get sick, even vegans get sick. And I'm telling you, if you load up on your vitamin D3, even if you're not raw vegan, you will probably not get a cold, because I've seen it in my family, where my family, I'm the only one in my family trying to be a raw vegan. And the rest of my family eats pretty much standard American diet, and they don't get sick. And we are pastors of a church, and 75% of the people in our church right now have a cold and a flu virus. I mean, not a flu virus, a stomach virus. And none of us have had it. Well, let me just rephrase that. Caden started to come down with a cold about 3 days ago. He got up and he was blowing his nose a little bit, and he wasn't coughing. He didn't have fever, didn't have congestion. He wasn't lethargic laying on the couch. His nose was a little bit extra runny. And I said, oh, Caden, it seems like you might be getting a cold. And the next day he was totally fine. So his immune system was healthy enough that he could fight it. So, you know, you guys, do your research. Please do your research. Watch my other videos on vitamin D. It'll inform you of the FDA. You know, the studies, many studies were given to them proving that the recommended daily allowance of 400 units was too low. So they considered all this research, and they said, okay, we're going to raise it. And a lot of people in natural medicine were really excited about it because they were going to finally raise up the RDA of vitamin D3, and they raised it to 600 units. You know, people can safely take 5,000 units a day, and they raised it to 600. So just think about it, you guys. Imagine if vitamin D kept everybody from getting a cold. Let's see. No Sudafed, no flu vaccines, no Kleenex. What else? I mean, think of all the money that would not be made if they gave everybody vitamin D3 5 to 10,000 units a day during flu season rather than the flu vaccine. Just think about it. Bye. You know, one of the best things you can do if you're kind of concerned about taking vitamin D3, about overdosing, or, you know, first of all, it is really hard to overdose on vitamin D3. Very, very difficult. You can safely take 5,000 units a day, and you will maybe get normal blood serum levels. I like my blood serum levels to be ideally between 70 and 80, because between 70 and 80 is cancer fighting and heart disease fighting. So I can go to the corner and go to any lab and get my vitamin D3 tested for $20 or $25, you guys. So really, you know, and you don't need a doctor's order, you know. So go and get your vitamin D3 checked. Do your research. There's no reason for you to be sick this winter. When I see people who are always sick, I know, I mean, I could put money on it that their vitamin D3 levels are probably so low. They're probably sick all the time. They probably have a cold after a cold after a cold. They probably feel very lethargic with no energy. They probably have achy bones. And, you know, if they just would get their vitamin D3 levels checked and start taking appropriate doses, or get out in the sun. That's really the best way to get your vitamin D3, is out in the sun. But in order to get enough vitamin D3 every day, you have to be in full sunlight for 10 to 15 minutes with practically no clothes on, and that's just not really feasible for most people. Also, I do want to tell you that vitamin D3 does not come from food, okay? So don't feel like you can take a food to get your vitamin D3. Vitamin D2 does come from food, but it's different than vitamin D3. That's like vitamin B12 and vitamin B6, they're totally different. So vitamin D2 comes from like mushrooms, are very high in vitamin D2. So that's why you should not get your total vitamin D checked, because that checks all the vitamin Ds. You want to make sure you specifically get your vitamin D3 checked. So, just a little bit of information for you. Do with it whatever you will. Hey guys, just a little side note. I made some soap today and it looks so pretty. I wanted to show you guys. So I made 4 2-pound loaves, and this one is lavender and charcoal, and it's got lavender sprinkled on top. And this one is lemongrass. So it's got some lemongrass from my garden dried and sprinkled on top, and of course those two are the same. So tomorrow I'll get to cut those. We'll see what's inside, and it's always fun, pretty to look at. So I'm excited about cutting those tomorrow. So I do have a soaping channel. I'll put a link to it on the bottom. You know, if you spend all if you put all this effort into detoxifying and eating healthy foods, you don't want to get in the shower and put all these chemicals on the largest organ of your body, which is your skin, and absorb toxins from your soap. So I make, my soaps are natural and have no toxins in them or anything like that. So it was just something that I really enjoyed. A new hobby I have been doing for about 5 months and have really enjoyed it a lot. And so yeah, tomorrow, I'll cut them tomorrow, and I'll show you guys what they look like, maybe in the next video. Bye.